Neutral. What? It's a matte weapon. Green? That's hilarious. We were literally just talking about this. We were literally just talking about this. Like when they're gonna add the ability to increase the resistances in the game. So first things first, first thing we're gonna do is same thing we always do. We're gonna jump in and check out the aesthetics. And the aesthetics are, it's good. It's a good outfit, man. I like this one. I like this one. I like the little like scarf cape thing he's got going on here. Got like another little hood in the background. I love the hat. You know, as y'all know, I'm a big fan of hats. Pistol looks cool. Sword looks neat. You can see he's injured here. He's got some more bandages on. Yeah, we got the hat day. Oh, it's not fitted. Well, you tried, Matt. That's what's important. You tried. Nice holster on the side. Yeah, no, man, it looks good. It looks good. Much like Glenn's outfit, right? Like Glenn's outfit, I said that the real good use of the blacks into the grays makes it look a lot better, makes it look more like worn and torn, right? Makes it look more like it shows the wear and tear a bit better, right? But then having the gold all over the place to give it a little bit of color, make it splash a little bit more. And this is a brighter color than the red and the purple on the other two outfits, so it makes it pop a little bit more. Outfit looks good, man. It's not like anything special or anything. It's not super great. It's a solid outfit, man. Looks good. Looks good. Let's check out Desperado Rapier. So, oh man, it's a heal as well. Okay, so we've got a AoE heal with an AoE lightning resist up, an AoE wind resist up, and an AoE physical attack up. Boost HP and boost heal is good. Heal boost slot and a circle sigil slot on a healing weapon is great. We don't get this very often. That's gonna be 62 HP. Give me 62 HP. Let's go to OB6 and see what we got. OB6, 54% heal. Lightning resist is mid to high. Wind resist is mid to high. Physical attack is mid to high. Okay, this is great. Yeah, this is great. And it's a featured weapon too. OB10, 59%, mid to high, mid to high, mid to high. Everything's still mid to high. Okay. Okay, so in terms of the actual buffs, right? You do have to cast this twice to get those buffs off, right? So in order to get the lightning resist and wind resist off to high, you do have to cast this twice. And it does cost 5 ATB. So this is not a cheap weapon in terms of using this and getting a good effect off. It also increases your DPS, which is nice. But obviously, if you have Deraplatis, I don't have to tell you that this is certainly not worth it, right? Like Deraplatis is obviously better than this. However, it's nice to have this in the feature pool, right? Nice to have this in the feature pool. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish this was magic attack, if I could be so real. I get why it's not, because it's meant to support, like, you know, Lucia, Glenn, who are both primarily physical, right? So that's the reason why, and I get that. But much like Aerith, right? Like having multiple instances of physical attack up, it's nice for the instances where you want to like swap, but it's just the redundancies. I don't know. That's subjective at the end of the day, right? The weapon itself is solid. It's really, really good. For having to, obviously just having a good heal, right? An AoE good heal with a physical attack increase on top of it is obviously very good. Nice to have offensive stuff there with defensive R abilities, which is great. And offensive and defensive materia slots, which is also good. You get the boost, the attack boost sigil slot here, so you can use physical or magic, which is nice too. So when you put a different materia on, you can just slot it in. That's great. HP and heal are both good. It's solid, man. This is good. This is good. This is certainly not something that I would pull for today, or that I would even prioritize, because even at OB0, like a low to mid wind resist up and a 42% heal is great, right? Keep in mind, we don't have this. This is the first instance of resist up in the game. So this is the first time we've been able to increase our defenses against certain bosses. And I'll be blunt, the only reason that I'm excited about this is because I hate fighting Ramuh more than anything in the world. Like, Ramuh is probably my least favorite fight in this entire game. And the fact that they gave us an opportunity to increase our lightning resistance, mwah, love them. Thanks, Square Enix. Thanks, Applibot. Like, God, I hate fighting Ramuh so much. So the fact that there's an anti-Ramuh weapon in the game, big fan. Big fan. Love that. But anyway, so I mean, he's got some resist downs to go along with this, which is nice. It's nice to have another defensive option on Matt. You know, this is obviously not going to be the last time we see a resist up weapon. As a matter of fact, now that we've seen this added into the game, if you told me that Aerith's weapon for the Final Fantasy 13 collab was going to be another resist up weapon, it would not shock me, right? Would not shock me if she got like water resist up. So that way her lightning, quote unquote, lightning the character outfit and weapon would be good for lightning weak stages, right? So all in all, solid weapon, great R abilities, solid materia slots, pretty good, man. I like this a lot. The only thing that would have made this obviously ridiculously good is if it had an Asuna all slot, but that would make this way too strong for a featured weapon. But for a featured weapon, this weapon's great. Absolutely great. For folks that missed out on Daryl Plattis, if you're not planning on pulling on Daryl Plattis' banner, this is a solid featured option to have in the pool, for sure. Check out the Desperado style. Gets defense all allies. So this is not, to be clear, the same as the P-Def all allies effect that we saw on, I think it was Glenn's outfit, which is a weapon ability. This is like the one that was on Angeal's limited outfit, which increases your team's entire physical and magic defense by a set percentage. But he gets it at 15 points, which gets a 10% increase to your entire team's physical and magic defense, which is great. This is separate from the R abilities, the physical defense all allies and the magic defense all allies. So this is an additional increase on top of that, which is awesome. And then Tactician's Gambit is a +1 to physical attack up. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. So I mentioned multiple times, and I'll say it again, you know, on this video as well. The truth is that the secondary effects that increase the max potency tiers, I dislike greatly, right? I really do. This one specifically, I like a lot. The reason why, they can't stop you from increasing your physical attack, right? They can debuff you, right? But they can't stop you. You can continue to raise your own physical attack for now. They may put in another effect that stops us from being able to raise our physical attack in the future too. But as it stands today, you can't stop him from increasing your team's physical attack. And Matt only has physical attack options in his kit. So like his Daryl Plattis' physical attack, his now his new weapon, this Desperado, what was it again? Rapier, is also a physical attack, right? So he has multiple weapons that can actually utilize this, which is awesome, right? Because you can actually utilize this with Matt's Daryl Plattis, and it's still very good, right? And anything else that comes out from Matt that has a physical attack increase, this also improves that, right? The thing that really gets me with this is that it only affects the max tier, so you do have to cast twice. And with this new weapon, that means 10 ATB without an overspeed, right? With Daryl Plattis, it's 8, which is not nearly as bad, but it's still, obviously, that's still 8 ATB without an overspeed. And that's a lot to get your attack maxed out, right? Thankfully, we've got ways to keep that up now with things like Tifa's gloves, the leather combat gloves. You've got overdrives, limit breaks like the cheering shots from Lucia that reapplies physical attack and magic attack up, right? Which is good. And remember that if you cheering shot, like using Lucia as the example, right? If you cheering shot to increase your team's physical attack and magic attack, and then use Matt's 5 ATB effect to increase your team's physical attack by 2 while wearing this outfit, it's still going to take it to 4, right? Then he doesn't have to cast it twice. That saves you 5 ATB, right? So there is ways around that. It's just they're a little bit nichey, and a lot of the time you're usually, not always, but usually not using regular limit breaks in fights. You're usually using summons. And with enemy skills coming up next month, I don't know how long we'll be even using limit breaks, right? We'll see how long that lasts, if enemy skills are actually good, but you know, we won't know until we see it. But yeah, it's solid. I definitely like this more than the other +1 max tiers. Obviously, this is more offensively focused. I do like the fact that this has an offensive and defensive effect. I like the fact that this is not a weapon ability, so this is pretty strong. I do like the fact that this Tactician's Gambit gives you an offensive effect that's actually useful for your physical build and also useful for this new weapon. The only downside to this outfit that I can tell you for sure is the fact that this banner is still here, and there's really no reason to not get his Dark Knight robe that has 20% to boost defenses, 10% to healing potency, and reprieve, which I value a lot more than just an extra 10% damage, personally, because this means that Matt stays alive, right, and helps keep your team up as well. So That's a personal opinion, whether you believe that or not and what you prefer. You've got the option between the two of them now, which is cool. There is a chance that this effect is going to be necessary for next week's guild battle. The Zeton, I forget the name of it. The big wide robot, right? The big wide robot that shoots off the Kamehameha beam from its nose. That's a lightning attack. So I could see this being very, very useful in next week's guild battle, even though it increases physical attack, not magic attack, and next week's guild battle is magic attack. But something worth noting, that is, you know, it might be necessary. We won't know until we get into the guild battle, but it is a possibility. For me personally, I think this is a pretty easy skip. The weapon itself is good, but niche, right? Wind resist and lightning resist. We don't even need these for any fights in this game at this point. And any of the fights that they are necessary for are all permanent, right? If you're thinking about Odin, Ramu, Shiva and Ramu, right? This is a featured weapon. You're going to be able to get this in ticket draws. You're going to be able to get this for wishlist pulls, right? This is not something you have to prioritize today. In terms of the outfit, I like this outfit a lot. I really do. I like the fact that Matt could have a defensive outfit in Dark Knight robe and an offensive outfit in Desperado style that you can flip between the two. And so for the stages like the battle rankings, as an example, where you want to do more damage and you're not really worried about your defensive stats, you could bring in this outfit and increase your team's defensive stats anyways, but also increase your team's physical attacking prowess, which is really, really cool. Man, I gotta tell you, if you're free to play, this is it's probably still an easy skip. If you're not free to play, this is awesome, right? Like if you're a dolphin, whale, even like a slight spender, and you have his Dark Knight outfit, I feel like this is probably a good pull. Just because this damage increase is more consistent, right? I like this a lot versus like defense downs and such, which I don't think are very consistent because there's too many enemies in the game that are resistant to it at this point. Nothing can stop you from increasing your attack. So I like this a lot. And having an extra 10% to our already massive defensive stats now is really solid. So, but yeah, I think if you're free to play, this is probably just a skip. I don't think you would worry too much about this, but if you're willing to spend some money, like I don't see a reason not to get the outfit on this one. The outfit's pretty good. And it's really good for those battle rankings, right? Increasing that physical attack up again is really solid for battle rankings. In terms of the wish list, when it comes to Matt, there are a lot of weapons within Matt's kit that are very, very strong, and it essentially boils down to these top 4, right? There's other weapons in his kit that are also good, but these are the 4 that I would prioritize the most. Nautilus Spiral is his ice resist and lightning resist down weapon. Has heal and buff debuff extension at really great R ability levels with Diamond Sigil Break with a 3 ATB. This is one of the best featured weapons in the game. Also has a cure-all slot, which you wouldn't need, obviously, but like this is a really good weapon. Gives him a lot of heal in that offhand, gives him buff debuff extension, which is great for his lightning and wind resist up and his physical attack up, right? Make those last a little bit longer while you get a chance to cast it again, which is obviously very important. So stuff like that is good. His Luminary Sword, this is a little bit slower at OB6 than Lucia's Shinra Celebration Rifle, I think it's called. I forget the name of the limited weapon that she got. But this increases your whole team's fire damage as well as their magic attack. You have to cast this 3 times to get the max, which is a bit of a tough ask. The good news is that one of the best fire damage dealers in fire is Tifa, and Tifa's leather combat gloves help you get this up to max level without needing Matt to cast, 4 times, which is helpful. But yeah, having to cast this 3 times is a bit of a bummer. It's still solid though, very, very good. Use that for the last battle ranking event. Syringe Rapier is a good magic defense, physical defense, all allies effect. And remember that this current weapon that you're using only has lightning and wind resist up, which means this actually has a spot in his offhand for that build. For 4 ATB, it gives you a medium to high increase for physical and magic defense. Also comes with more boost HP, giving him an insane amount of survivability at that point, right? Because that would get him at, if they're both OB10, that would get you up past the 80 mark, which gives you 250 base HP and 95% bonus to his HP, which is really, really solid. Buff debuff extension, again, for the reasons we just explained, very, very good. But yeah, solid offhand weapon. I think this is probably the offhand weapon you would use on most generic stages. For stages you don't need Matt to debuff like lightning or ice resistance. This would be pretty much your status quo for your offhand there. And then last but not least is Centipede. This one also does a 59% magic heal for 5 ATB, has a physical defense increase. This is obviously not as good, right? Because this current weapon already heals. So it's not that this has been replaced. It's just that I would rather have something like this in the main hand and this in the offhand, and then choose which one of the defenses goes up. Obviously, Centipede still has its place on the stages where you want to have that physical defense increase and the heal, so it's not useless. So having that on there as well is also very good. When it comes to his offhand weapons, you're really just looking for buff debuff extension and any type of like guild battle weapon. So like physical and magic defense, all allies. Yeah, Scimitar is the one for sure. For sure. You get boost heal, boost buff debuff extension. This is great, right? This is great. So that would be in the slot. That would be in slot 3 for me, or slot 4 rather. This one also does 56, so that you can do some boost attack if you want. Matt is a healer, so you don't want him to have 0 offensive capabilities, but also that's not his priority, right? You don't really need him to do that all the time. So Scimitar is probably the better option, just to increase that heal a little bit more, get him that buff debuff extend. If you want more offensive, you can use Slash Lance instead. Again, either way, right? Both are good, whichever one works for you. Like I said though, I think this is a pretty easy skip for me. Again, this isn't this outfit is bad, the weapon is bad. Both are good, right? But for me, like, neither one of them breaks the bank in terms of like breaking the game. But yeah, solid banner, man. That's the end of it. Solid banner.